Right, welcome back to this one hub race in action. We've missed 9 laps because the game decided, well, for both me and Daniel, it decided to basically kick us out of the lobby, and we were not aware that everyone else still got away with it, and we unfortunately did not. So apologies about that. We have missed around 10 laps. I should be inviting Daniel now unless he's in, and yeah, there we go. We've got a safety car, luckily, so we get to have some sort of IndyCar style return to us, I suppose. Yep, that's exactly the reaction from me. Like, it kicked us out. We thought everyone else had been kicked out, but apparently not. So, yeah, apologies we missed 10 laps of action. We don't know what's happened. Hopefully we've still got everyone in the race. Oh, Enz is out. Okay, so the person who runs TAS is out. So yeah, we've missed it all. I'm so sorry. And we do apologise. And I believe even more annoying, I think we have... Well, actually, no. The TAS system, it's kind of working. I don't really know. It's given us penalties, but... Yep, it's working fine, never mind. But anyway, Gus is leading the way then on lap 10, and safety car into snap, so we're going to have, obviously, like I said, a rolling start for us in terms of, you know, how much time. We've got 26 laps remaining for me and Daniel. Have you got back in, Daniel?
I'm loading in right now.
Yep. Well, you'll be happy to know that we'll be getting back underway technically with some sort of race start. So we've got people packing it up right at the back there, almost getting in formation of 2, and well, Gus has really pulled that one off. He's flying ahead of Aaron JS, and everyone else is he's just let everyone go. No one has responded to him whatsoever, and now Gus is in the lead by quite a distance. Oh, and there's Astronauty in the wall, is it? Is that Astronauty? Yes, it is, and that is debris flying everywhere. Be careful when you come back on track as well. And Astronaut is going to be at the bottom. I think Zach's had some sort of incident with that as well. And Majestic has got some issues as well. I need to put on my track map. Yep, 2 guys have gone into the pits. And, well, that was an interesting restart then. Gus leading the way by 2 seconds now. So he's gotten well clear of second place Aaron JS, who's got well ahead of VTR Storm in third place, who's still yet to pit. Everyone else has done 1 pit stop. Storm's still yet to do 2. Remember, you have to do the mandatory 2 pit stops here in this race, of course, remember. So, even in the wet conditions, it is still mandatory to do for Storm. So, he'll have to pit soon, and it may come back to bite him that he hasn't pitted yet.
Well, yeah, that is definitely something he should have really done under pit window. Under safety car. So he might try run long into the race. Hopefully for him, he'll get lucky with a safety car later on and then be able to make a free pit stop. But unfortunately, he's really going to be on the back foot here because he's now feeling the pressure from Truth. No DRS in the wet conditions. Is Truth maybe going to go up the inside into turn number 1? Thinks better of it.
Yeah, he's fighting for third place right now. However, he still has to make the 2 stop. Everyone else has to make 1 stop. Gus, may I just say, is flying in the wet conditions right now. 5.3 seconds clear of Aaron GS. It did get to 3.5 seconds. Did I say 5.3 there? I was about to say 3.3. If that was the case. But Storm falling ever so much behind the 2 leaders, and Truth getting much closer. So Truth, who only got 4 points last season, is looking to get more than 4 points in 1 race alone. There's Daniel's sort of an out.
Sorry. I just had to turn my laptop off because it was getting really hot.
Gets hot very quickly then, because we only had it on for a short amount of time, I believe. But Zach Jarvis has had an incident at turn 7. I think he's just lost a car, no real issues. Liam's got a good start in 6th place, and so we say with Gaza. And Zach Jarvis has just binned it in the wall.
He's just driven straight into the wall there.
Oh, he shouldn't do
and then
that.
Retired it.
Shouldn't do that. If that's a safety car, that could be quite controversial to the stewards anyway. Not Gazzaman, Storm pitting. I was going to say, why is Gazzaman pitting again? He's got a long way to go on those intermediate tyres. However, looking at Nicky right now, he's putting the pressure on Liam 1-3 here for 5th place. Gazza's in 4th place. Brilliant start from those two, may I just say. As you can see, the positions gained for both of them is 9 positions, and they've already made their stop. So everyone onto the same stop, except from Jamie at the moment, who's made 2 stops. Do you reckon possibly Jamie's thinking about taking those inters to the end?
He might be doing so, but he's on the same tyre life as everyone else. They've been on these tyres for 4 laps now, so I think he might have pitted earlier on. He might have got some damage somewhere. We don't know because we weren't in the session. We both got a blue screen, and we thought the lobby was restarting, and then we just didn't get back in.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, if he continues in the same position he is now, if he just sits comfortably behind, everyone that's ahead of him has to pit again. He technically does not. As long as he nurses those tyres and keeps within a reach of the leaders, he should be fine. But all I'm going to say is, Gus is now 4 seconds clear out ahead, and he's loving life out there. Meanwhile, we've got Nicky right on the back of Liam 1-3. He's going to go for it down the inside of turn 1, is he? Oh, he's backed out, has he? Oh,
there's contact.
Yeah, he didn't really make it stick. When you've got these moves coming, you need to make sure you know what you're doing there. Nicky was kind of half and half. He was like, do I go for it or do I not go for it? And unfortunately, that's dropped him down to 9th place. And this is a bit of a spanner in the works now for Jamie, because he's got Nicky in front of him. Perhaps he's got hot tyres on at the moment, probably from that spin there, and he's probably a little bit lack of confidence there as well. So interestingly for Jamie, he's got a little bit of traffic ahead of him. Someone's in the wall. Is that Storm? Yeah, that's Storm, and that's his wing gone as well. So he'll be livid with that, and he'll have to stop again. So at least he's got his 2 stops out the way, I suppose. However, the leader out in front, Gus, has got no traffic ahead of him. He just continues to keep moving forward at the moment, as we see Liam trying to catch up to Gazzaman, and we've got Nicky as well with Alex Lilliard down in the fight for 8th place here. So Alex Lilliard not really getting many points, only getting 2 points last season. Commentator turned driver here in One Hub Racing, and in the Haas at the moment, he'll be pretty happy with the 8th place he's got currently. But he's got Nicky, who wants a race win, right up his tail, and let's see if Nicky will go for the move, and hopefully he should get it straight away, and hopefully he won't cause same incident as he did last time. And yep, straight past him, nice and easy, and then the Ferrari is ahead of the Haas. As for Jamie Met, he's just sitting behind, and when you look from the gap for the leader, it's 20 seconds here, but the pit stop here is around 14, so actually it's not that big of a pit lane. Here Enz has left the session. He's obviously retired, so you'd expect that, but 20-second gap there from Jamie Met. I wonder if he'll come out and look for a podium here tonight, and that'd be a great return, really. Daco has retired.
Why's he lost that?
Oh, he's lost that on the exit of turn 14 there, so obviously had some issue on the banking or somewhat, and we've got a safety car here. So I said about Jamie and everything, how he'll be happy to be in a position he is. He may be a little bit annoyed with that, because now all these guys can now pit for a second time. And, well, they will make it to the end, the tyres, going by the data we've covered. So I'll be interested to see what people like Gus do. He stays out.
Well, the intermediate tyres have a tyre life of 20 laps. They're about the same as the mediums, which you'd use in the dry. They can definitely make it to the end, especially since they're going to be on the safety car for a little bit. I think Aaron might be getting a little bit held up in the pits here because he's not going. No one was ahead of him. He just waited in the pits there, so he's dropped positions when he could have at least conserved maybe one of those. But I wouldn't see any reason to not pit. So Gus, all these guys staying out, they haven't made their second stop yet. They might be shooting themselves in the foot unless there's that we don't know.
Well, yeah, well, Jamie, of course, not pitting again onto fresh rubber. Of course, it takes these tyres a little longer than what you would on dry tyres to actually heat up a little bit. So, Jamie, obviously, is probably in a prime position. Nicky's left the session. He's probably had an issue along that side. He hasn't retired, so it's not like he's left it. It's not like he's left it because he's retired, so we don't know what's happened to Nicky there. But yeah, like you said, there is a reason to pit here, so it's rather interesting why the front runners didn't do that, and perhaps Aaron JS did, but he's now stuck behind Jamie Met, who, like I said, Jamie Met, if he can take those, inters to the end, there is a possibility a podium or even a win is on the cards here, but obviously that is quite doubtful. Let's be real, but he could do it, and if he does do it, then it's another podium to celebrate for him on his return.
Well, you do have to remember that he's been on those tyres 7 laps longer than Aaron has behind, and maybe as team... Oh, Jamie's actually coming into the pit lane now.
That's a bit late. He'll be back at the back of the grid, and that's 3 stops he's had to make, and a 5-second penalty as well for speeding in the pit lane. I think alternatively, look at that, he's onto he's not actually onto fresh rubber, is he? There.
They're used.
So
probably from qualifying.
Possibly, yeah, actually. We forgot about that. That qualifying was in the wet conditions as well. But Jamie now is going to come out in 9th. Not a terrible position, really, considering, of course, that he still is technically in a net 3rd place, considering the guys in front have still yet to make their 2nd stop.
Of course, and it might be pretty difficult to get past these guys who are slower. Tyre wear in the rain is much more detrimental because the tread in the tyres that gives them the grip in the wet is going to be degrading lap by lap. And if you stay on the same tyres for long enough, they could probably turn into slicks. So they'll be a lot slower than Aaron and Alex. Alex actually did get saved by that safety car, I do want to mention, because he'd been on his set of intermediates for 10 laps, and it basically gave him a free pit stop where he now sits in a net P2.
Technically for Storm as well, of course, he's probably been able to make his 2 stops now, I'm pretty sure. So luckily for him, everyone's made their 2 stops except from the top 6. So I wonder what their strategy is then, Daniel, really going into this, considering they've got to make 1 more stop, but all the top 6 thinking, nah, I'm betting on another safety car, or I'm betting I'm faster than all these guys to make it to the end.
I don't quite know what's happened at the back there, but I've just seen Astronaut. He's gone into the grass at the end of the DRS straight. So I think he might want to get by Nicky, who's in the session, but he might feel that it was his rightful position. I'm not too sure. Probably this time next lap we will be green flag racing. Nicky now comes into the pit lane. I don't quite know why these guys are making such late pit stops.
Well, Nicky isn't going to lose many positions anyway, so he's not a big fuss. Nicky wouldn't worry too much about it. The pit lane is quite small here at the Netherlands, so I think that's where the strategy comes from for people like Gus, for example. These guys are thinking, well, the pit lane's short, I'm leading the race, and I'm the one who's got the pace right now. I know I've got the pace because I've gone 4 seconds clear in a bunch of laps previous. And he'll be thinking that. I mean, he got a 20-second gap to Jamie Met beforehand, and if it is ever so to be believed, then Gus is actually still in a really good position here, as he's got a lot of free air to use. Oh, that's an annoying sound in the background.
That is my fire alarm.
That is lovely. I'm hoping
I just shut my door. I think my dad's burning some pork, so lovely stuff there. Hopefully that doesn't occur too much longer, as something is happening. In the midfield, Storm has just jumped past Astronaut somehow, and look at this. This is a whole cluster here at the back of the grid now. What is going on? There's 3 cars on the same bit of tarmac.
There's throwing wing damage. Astronaut, he's got wing damage. I don't know how or where. He's now left the session. What is going on? At the back here, there's rather questionable things happening, but I'm not sure.
Right.
Well, let's not pay attention to that then, because I don't know what on earth is happening.
In other news, we are now going to be green flag racing Is Gus gonna get the insane getaway that he did last time out? It looks like Truth has read him a little bit better.
There's Gazaman out of the race.
Gaz is out.
He's lost the car there. And then we've got another safety car potentially that's blocking the pit lane. Don't think it will be another safety car. I've never really seen it come out as quick, but Gazaman straight out there. And I've said about the banking and everything, he's obviously gotten too eager to get going, or his tyres are too cold, and he's out of this race. And we are down to 12 in this race now.
Now that's allowed for Aaron to get up into 5th position already. So he's already going to be breathing down the neck of the top drivers. So this has been the perfect restart for the Mercedes car. And now we just got to navigate past Cloudy Balloons, Liam, Truth, and then he'll get to the race leader, who seemingly has dominated so far. Do remember, those top 4 have to make another pit stop. Aaron's got a really good opportunity to win this race.
Yeah, he really does, and getting ahead of the Majestic is what he needed. Jamie and Alex seem to be stuck behind at the moment. So Alex Ilya in 7th place is the person who could arguably be favourites for 2nd place. However, we all have to keep track on that gap to the leader, of course, in Gus, Truth, Liam and Cloudy there, respectfully, and of course Majestic as well. A little bit of correction there from Alex there. He had a little bit of an issue. We've got Nicky as well getting close to the points. He's not had the race he would have wanted the season start. He would have wanted either, of course, coming into this, from what information we've got, technically as one of the favourites for the seasons going ahead. But Nicky sticking behind. Indecisive. Is he going to go for it here? Indecisive going to the inside to defend. However, he breaks much earlier than Nicky, and Nicky's easily round the outside there of Indecisive.
In other news, Jamie ended up getting past Alex after a mistake down at turn 14, where he went slightly into the gravel. He managed to hold the car, but he ended up losing the position to Jamie on a run up to turn number 1. Jamie now moves into a net P2. He's got Majestic between him and his teammate. This could be a real life situation where we're going to see a Mercedes 1-2. They're net P1 and net P2 at the moment. It is likely.
It's looking very strong for both two drivers, and we know what Jamie's like when he got a podium in One Hub Racing. That was probably one of the most goosebump moments, really, you could say. The amount of passion he had when he got that podium finally in that Brazilian Grand Prix. I think it was back in season 13. It made me feel really warm inside, and you know, maybe we'll see some of that tonight, perhaps. Who knows what will happen if Jamie gets one on his return in One Hub Racing. 3 seasons gone from it. And look at this then, Cloudy Balloons going for a move on Liam. Liam, though, for some reason has not for some reason, but for somehow has been able to claw his way back, but it looks like Cloudy's got the position there. So well done to the Red Bull getting by, and well done for both of them for being nice and clean there. And the only person this is helping really, though, however, is Aaron. And look at Aaron, he's eager to get by. He tried to get onto the throttle much quicker than Liam there, having a little bit of a slide. Nothing too worrying, though. But now we've got Cloudy in 3rd, Liam 4th, and Aaron in 5th. It's very close between these 3. And looking to potentially win this race, Aaron JS would be looking to get past these 2 as soon as possible. He's got well away from Majestic now, who is now on the old intermediate tyres there. And Jamie is still stuck behind him. 6 tenths between him and Majestic. He would like to get past and get moving if he wants to get that podium secured here, because obviously we've seen the pace that Gus is showing. He's already 3 seconds clear of Truth in 2nd place as well. So he looks like, even though he's got to make a pit stop, it's a real chance for him to maybe still get a podium despite still needing to pit.
I can't call it at this moment in time. He's still improving on his fastest lap, whatever that is. That is the fastest lap of the race. He's pushing with everything he's got, probably trying to extend the gap as much as possible. He's not even using ERS and he's pulling away from Truth. It's too close to call at this point, because they're going to come out so close to Aaron, the French driver. So it is really going to be a test of waiting, I guess. You know, you just have to see. We have to see where they're going to come out in terms of each other. And we move on to lap 22. It is unclear what our podium's going to look like.
And we'll wonder what our podium's going to look like. I'm just trying to find Gus. I found him. For some reason I couldn't find him for a minute on the spreadsheet. I found him though. Nice and easy. I've got Majestic now. It's closing in on Liam. For some reason, Aaron's just got well away from these guys and just shows a surreal pace right now. So Aaron's seeming to be very eager to catch up with Gus and make sure he's going to finish ahead of Gus tonight. And with 14 laps left to go, the longer Gus stays out, the less time he actually has to catch up with Aaron, because it's pretty much certain that Aaron's going to be leading this race come the second pit stops for Gus, Truth, Cloudy and Cloudy.
Well, he's got 5 seconds between him and Truth. I doubt that Aaron's going to want to spend too much time behind Truth and Cloudy because they're just going to hold him up more. He's got way more pace than them, but and if he really wants to take the fight to Gus, he's got to get by them as soon as possible. We're just coming through turn number 3 on board with Aaron there. He's got Cloudy Balloons in front of him, and on 14 lap old intermediate tyres, they've got about 6 more laps left in them before they completely die out. That's when you get into puncture territory. So I'd assume they're maybe on about 50% right now for the top 3. So it will be a case of a race of attrition to the end, managing your tyres, which Aaron doesn't really have to do.
Yeah, he needs to get them to the end, but it looks like they should be fine on those tyres. However, let's not forget, first down to 6th place, excluding Aaron, has to still pit in this lap, in this race. So they've still got one more pit stop to go, and Jamie at the moment really looking eager to get past Majestic. He's behind him right now, but there's a 5/10 gap between the two of them. He may want to get past Liam as well within the next 2 laps, so it'll be very, very interesting to see what ground Jamie can make up, and just being behind these guys loses him more time to Aaron and technically more time to the race win.
Well, he's running out of laps, is Aaron. We have 13 more to go in this race. Gus still extending the gap, as it seems like gaps are beginning to spread out a little bit. Jamie is right onto the back of Majestic and Liam here, so he wants to get by quick and catch up to his teammate. He's already lost 5 seconds when they were right by each other on the restart, and Aaron's dropped even further back. He's 4 seconds off of Jamie.
Oh yeah, well...
sorry, I meant Alex.
Yep, well, all I want to say now is that Gus, if Gus was to pit now, he would already come out ahead of Jamie now, so Jamie is no longer in that next 2nd place, technically speaking, unless something goes wrong for the race leader, who is still yet to come in. However, Jamie's still acquiring 3rd place net-wise when it comes to these guys pitting. I wonder when they all will decide to pit, because they still need to do it, and hopefully they'll do it soon. But Gus, he's got an insane gap in the lead now, almost 9 seconds clear of 2nd place, so he's looking very eager in these conditions to go out and win.
Now we're beginning to see some drivers come to the pit lane. Liam 1-3 and Majestic both coming to the pits. That unleashes Jamie into a bit of clear air, and as well as Alex, so hopefully they can get a move on for the sake of their catch up to Aaron and keep on the podium, because Gus does have a gap right now to Jamie. It's 14.5 seconds is the pit loss in the race around here. It's a short pit lane, one of the shortest pit loss you can actually have, so he does have the gap and will emerge ahead of them. He's still going to be behind Aaron though.
Yeah, he's still going to be behind Aaron, unfortunately, but will he be ahead of Jamie? He should be ahead of Jamie, really. I'm just watching Indecisive there to see how much time he's losing. He's just come out of the pits, however, we don't really know if he's had to have a wing change. That's another thing that could play in the cards. Of course, we've seen how deadly that turn 14 is. And Gus, despite having to make a pit stop again, he's still basically just putting in the laps. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say Storm is out of this race when it comes to keep disconnecting or not. And Truth's coming to the pits, so we will see where Truth comes out. He's now in his pit box, and he's behind Jamie. So how much seconds is he behind Jamie here? I believe if I'm correct, he was around 8 seconds behind. He's behind Alex Lilliart as well. I think he's just come out ahead of Nicky though. Yes, he has. So Jamie actually has made around a 7-second gap. It's going to be quite close, really, between him and Gus. But however, I think Gus has it covered, and Gus will be winning this race or getting second place at least. But he's got to make up a huge gap if he wants to think about it, because Aaron has a 7-second gap to Jamie, and by looking from Truth, I can only really say that there's going to be a 6-second gap between the race leader now and the race leader to be Aaron JS.
My timing screen's gone a bit glitched now, so I actually don't have any of the gaps for some reason.
Neither do
brilliant.
Brilliant.
Well, Aaron's right on the back of Cloudy, so that's all I know. And
yellow
someone's
flags.
gone off.
No, not really.
There was yellow flags for nothing, I think.
We've still got no... Oh, great. We've still got no telemetry thing here. And this is where it's really important. Gus has set another... He's got set another fastest lap here, but we don't know what he's got. Look at that. He's so much quicker than anyone else on the grid when it comes to the fastest lap. The next fastest is Aaron, who is 7/10 slower with his fastest lap. So right now, Gus is in a really good place to win this race if he can just keep extending and keep pushing on those inters when he comes back out. And look at that, the gap is 13 seconds now. So Gus really pushing those tires a little bit, and look at that. He's not even using much of the ERS. So I mean, at the end of the day, he's been using a little bits of it, but he's been completely fine on those tires. But he still needs to pit one more time, and perhaps he's just trying to simmer the gap down as much as possible, so he's got enough time to get past Aaron and win this race.
Well, now the gap between Aaron and Gus is 14.4 seconds. That is just about enough, I would say, for Gus to pit, and he's still not pitting. He's got a little bit extra in these tyres, but he's got to be careful, and he's still improving. I don't believe how this man's doing this.
I don't know. He's set a 19.8 compared to Aaron's 20.7. Is Aaron going to improve that? No, he's not. In fact, he's in the 21s here. So that just shows how much quicker Gus is actually lapping right now. He's lapping so much quicker than anyone else on the track, which is quite disappointing. But look at this then. Truth then looking for a move on Alex. It looks like he's got it before the corner anyway. But Lilliart did definitely defend to the inside, but it didn't quite work. Truth still had a little bit more straight to go, and he got by him without needing to move to the inside.
Good move there from Truth on Alex, and Alex beginning to struggle a little bit. Nicky is catching up to these guys. Liam a little bit further back on the road. He's got a nice bit of clean air.
Oh, Storm round.
Storm's gone again. He's really struggling, isn't he?
Really struggling in these wet conditions. I think Indecisive is as well, as he is down in 12th place, 40 seconds behind Storm. We just got 8 laps to go here. Gus still out on track. However, he isn't setting his personal best. In fact, he was 7/10 off there that time, and it looks like he's lost a little bit of time to Cloudy Balloons. And Aaron is saying, "Oh, Cloudy Balloons is in the wall."
Gone.
That's him into the pit lane then. But oh my word, Cloudy Balloons, who was on for a podium, may have just given Jamie a real big hope to get this podium here tonight. And you know what? He might be on for it. And you know what? Truth as well may be looking to challenge Jamie. And what a night it would be if out of all of them, Alex Lilliart gets a podium. He only got 2 points last season after a pretty disappointing season from his view anyway. He'll be looking to get points this season. And no, he's looking to get a podium this season already. So that would be something quite good for him to start off the season, and what confidence it would do to both him, Truth and Jamie, knowing that they were not on the podium last season, obviously of course because Jamie was not here last season. What confidence that will bring all 3 drivers into it if that were to happen. Alright, Gus, he's staying out another lap, Gus is, so he's still staying out on his laps, and he's in the 19 still, so he's still at the height of his game.
Oh,
Indecisive's lost it, I think. I don't know. Oh, virtual safety car. He's lucky there. Gus is very lucky, in my opinion. And well, I think fortunately, if that was any earlier, it could have been a little bit better, but he's still fortunate as a virtual safety car and not a safety car, because that could have meant fresh rubber could have been put on, technically, for the cars behind.
Well, if this virtual safety car does last long enough, but even so, he's gaining time on Aaron. He's 100% going to come out in the lead. And if I can be the first one to say this, I think Gus has been put in the wrong tier. He's just been a step above everyone else this race. I think he's both our driver of the days.
Nicky, drive-through penalty, speeding under virtual safety car, and you're not wrong. If I had to go for anyone, it would be him. Aaron is 18 seconds behind. 17 seconds behind Gus now. If Gus was to pit now, which I'm pretty sure he would, he knows he's got that gap, and that's probably what he wanted to do. That was probably Gus's objective. We'll see here if he does enter into the pits. So he's onto the straight now, and no, he's staying out again. So that's interesting then.
I'd hate for this to happen, but has he forgotten that he has to make a second pit stop?
If he's forgotten and he gets disqualified,
that would be such a shame.
It'd be such a shame, but for Aaron, he wouldn't care whatsoever about that. In fact, he'd be over the moon with something like that. Let's be completely honest here with that one. But it seems like Nicky has lost a little bit of time to Alex Lilliart. I think he's got a drive-through penalty, apparently, Nicky. So just watch out for him. He may get disqualified if he's not careful, because he has to pit, unfortunately. And I think that's his podium hopes out the way then. And not much action going on track at the moment, but Truth NRP trying to close the gap between him and Jamie Met to go and get that podium position. And whether Gus is going to realise that we do still have this rule here, I wonder, because if he pits, he'll be coming out roughly where Aaron JS is right now. However, I think he just wants that security in gap, but I mean, like you said, has he forgot it here?
He's not coming now.
If something goes wrong, is his race over? If something goes wrong in the pit stop, is his race over? In terms of his win. And well, I don't really know what to say here. Gus could be, and Aaron JS pits actually.
What?
I don't know why he's pitted again. He just doesn't see anything with these tyres, and now for Jamie, pushes him up to second place. I don't think he did. Well, he must have done, because he hasn't made a pit stop.
He had a drive-through.
He had a drive-through,
I'll
and
just look on the race director. What? It doesn't show up anything on the. I am looking at the right. I'm not looking at the right person. Right. He did have a drive-through, indeed.
Wow. So at this moment, Jamie is going to be second place in this race, and now Gus can come into the pit whenever he wants to fit on fresh rubber, and he'll be out ahead by quite a clear distance. Hopefully, he hasn't forgotten the rules, ladies and gentlemen. If he forgets the rules, he gets disqualified from here, and we've got another virtual safety car. So is Gus going to do it now? He's surely going to come into the pits now, put on that fresh rubber, and get back out again. And he is. It does look like it.
Thank God.
You were about to say something else there, weren't you? But yeah, he has come into the pits finally to fit on fresh rubber, and he's come out he's come in the right time as well. Virtual safety car, and look at this. Jamie's having to slow down quite a lot there. So Jamie is aware that he doesn't want to have the same treatment done to him than what's happened to Aaron. He's going very slow through there, and look at that then. Gus almost losing anything, but look at that. Cloudy balloons, drive-through penalty, speeding under the virtual safety car. Jamie does not, obviously, I thought he may have done there because he was looking a bit iffy off the exit here, but look how close it is going to be now. With 3 laps to go, Jamie, Aaron and Truth all very close to each other for second place in this race. 2 Mercedes and a Renault, not a Ferrari at all. I've never really heard of a yellow Ferrari in Formula 1, but you see yellow Ferrari cars, but that is definitely a Renault. I can confirm that Aaron JS is going to be livid about his penalty, and how is he going to put that up with Jamie just ahead of him?
Well, at this point, you just have to finish the race to get points. Because there's only 10 runners left. Admittedly, it is really difficult conditions where a lot of these guys aren't experienced in that, especially in Zandvoort. So I do commend a lot of these guys for getting so far into the race. I'm interested to see if Aaron's going to try and make an overtake soon on Jamie. Of course, he's got only 2 more of running to do that. We're just coming up to lap, actually we've started lap 34, so he's got 3 more laps to get by here on his teammate if he can. He's not on fresher rubber, so they're on a level playing field. He's got less ERS than his teammate. This could be a tough one between the two.
Yeah, and look at this, Truth just behind as well. Let's not count him out of the equation. His tyres are technically better than Aaron's and Jamie's tyres here, and he's within the second as well. No DRS though to aid him, of course, in the wet conditions, which is quite unfortunate. He would be quite unhappy with that, but however, the wet conditions do play have played a part in this entire race, so no one's been able to use DRS. But Truth, right now, he'll be sitting right behind Aaron and looking to maybe potentially go on to get a podium in this race. Jamie will be looking for a podium on his return, and of course Aaron will be looking to get that podium that he hasn't seen since season 14. So with all these 3 drivers looking for their first podium in quite a while in One Hub, and in fact Truth looking for his first podium in One Hub Racing as well. So all these 3 guys have got something to play for, and they'll be quite anxious right now, obviously not knowing what everyone's got in penalties, and we're not even going to tell you. We're just going to wait till the flag goes down, and we're going to wait for all of them to finish across the line. But it's undeniable to say that Gus he's dominated, let's just say.
Absolutely, he's, as I said before, he's a step above everyone else in this race. I don't know if it's something to do with him being a rainmaster of sorts, but I guess being in the rain, it's not a true tell of your pace, because a lot of people do struggle in the rain, and he could just be a lot more experienced in it than them. But credit where credit's due, he has absolutely dominated this one.
Yeah, and I believe I've got invites to my lobby. I can't join my lobby right now. Obviously, of course, let's not forget, I've got to wait a little longer since I've got this to coverage over. So I will be joining, and hopefully they haven't started without me. That would be very disappointing, because I would like to just get some racing action underway. And talking about racing action, we could be getting right underway very soon then. Truth getting very close to Aaron. Aaron's still quite close to Jamie as well, so all 3 of them are probably together right now, and it may just come down to who's been the cleanest driver on the track when it comes to penalties.
Well, as you did say, but here comes Truth up the inside of Aaron on fresher tyres into turn number 1. Has he got it? No, he can't make it into one of the best overtaking opportunities on the track. There's nowhere else where you really can make an overtake around here. So that could have been Truth's last opportunity, but we never know. There's still 1 more lap of racing for these guys. But Aaron,
it's the final lap.
Yeah, this lap is the final lap of racing for them.
It's the final lap of racing. You said 1 more lap to go. It's not really 1 more lap to go. It's half a lap to go.
Oh, right.
Right now.
I'm a bit delirious at the moment. It's too hot.
Yeah, we've got yellow flags set to 3 and cloudy balloons. You had 1 more lap to go, and just to complete this race, and well, he's binned it in the wall at turn 14. but it's undeniable who's surely not going to bid it in the turn 14, and that is to be the race winner of the first race of the season here in the Prospect here. Gus has won it here in quite dominant fashion, finishing on the top position. We still had to decide who's finishing second place. It looks like Jamie's got it, however penalties do play a part. Truth is not going to close in enough on Aaron, so let's just see it. Oh, he's almost lost himself there. Needs to be careful. Jamie goes down to 4th place, so Jamie not getting the podium on his return. Truth getting his first podium in One Hub Racing. Big congratulations to him. And in fact, Jamie's moved down to 5th place behind Liam here, so Liam got close to his first podium here in One Hub. However, Aaron gets his first podium since season 14, so he'll be very delighted with that. And we have a new winner in One Hub Racing, of course, in Gus Fring, who has won on his One Hub Racing debut here in the Prospect here.
Well, what a race then from Gus. Wow, what a performance from him. I actually want to see where his fastest lap compares to everyone else's. I'm just loading right now. I don't quite know what it's like for the stream at the moment. That is insane.
Yeah, he was.
We only had 9 finishers.
9 finishers, wow. Well, he was way too quick. I'm sorry, he was way too quick for the tier tonight anyway. And like you said, either he's just some sort of rain master, or he's just banging. Because look at that, a 19.8 in the race compared to the second quickest lap time, which was a 20.3 respectfully set by Truth. There's a 5/10 gap between the two of them. But yeah, here are your results. The Swiss driver Gus, who I thought was French, he's actually Swiss here, so I will change that next time. Finishes in first. Aaron GS in second, and Truth does make up the podium. Only 9 finishes. We've got Liam on his debut in 4th, Jamie on his return in 5th, Astronauty into 6th place, Alex Lilliar in 7th. He'll be taking home points. He'll be very happy with that. Majestic in 8th, and finally Nicky in 9th, and all the rest of the guys that we have gone through here DNF'd within the race. So with that, we have one more thing left to do, Daniel, and that is of course choose our driver of the day. And I mean, it's a no-brainer for both of us, isn't it? But we do have to pick 2 guys.
Right, well, if you're gonna pick Gus, I will pick Liam13, one of our sponsors providing the trophies. He ended up in 4th position after making up 14 positions. He was a bit of a mouse this race. He didn't really have much going on for him, and he just kind of snuck up the order. No one really noticed him throughout it, and he managed to get a really great position in the end, so well done to Liam.
Yeah, well, of course, kind of like a Charles Leclerc sort of thing you really do, and you're just stuck in the same position. Well, not stuck in the same position, but you've been quite quiet for a long time, and well, then you go and get 4th place, and yeah, pretty good race from him. And here are 2 drivers of the day, Gus and Liam. And well, it is time for us to end the stream, and before we do, next week come and join us at 6:15 PM. Hopefully this time we can start and end without any issues. However, we'll be at the Circuit de Paul Ricard in France for the French Grand Prix here in One Hub Racing. And from me and Daniel, it's good night.